Hello baby gang says, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Genshin Impact. And today we're doing Lyney's story quest, which is actually something I've been so excited to do. It's the first story quest of Fontaine, but not only that. You tell him, Shangling. It's a quest that is interesting to me because we did leave Lyney kind of like hanging a little bit in terms of story, right? It's and it's gonna be kind of maybe like we're gonna come to terms with maybe a lot of stuff. Maybe we're gonna have like a lot of conversations, hopefully, in the story quest. It was a very like melancholic moment, right? It was a sad moment for everybody. It was a very tense moment for everybody the last time we talked to Lyney. So talking to Lyney now actually means the world to me. Now, first of all, in terms of like the party setup we have today, this is Girls Get 'Em. And it's just Shangling, Sayu, Fischl, and Jean. That's my team for today. And basically like it's not, again, as you know, you guys know, I'm not some meta player. I'm not very good at this all the time, making teams. But basically what I'm doing with this team, as I'm, wanting to change more and more, is basically because I thought of like how fun it would be to have Shangling and Sayu and Fischl, as like Fischl's attacking with Oz, Shangling is doing the burst move with the fiery burst, and then Sayu is just spinning around as well. So like having the spin going around with two spins with the fire and Sayu and Oz attacking, and then as well having Jean as kind of like a clearer for the team as well, someone who can like pick up small mobs and like put them together and move them around the place, and also heal the team as well, while also working with like Shangling and the other team, the other members of the team too. I think this is actually going to be fun. That's my reasoning behind it. I thought it would be fun. Let's go talk to Charlotte. I think she should be down here, right? Right over here. I'm so nervous, man. I'm so nervous for the story quest. But we gotta keep going. It is?
We're always running into her. What's she doing this time? Oh, looks like street interviews. Paimon has a funny feeling that we might be in for an interesting time if we go check it out. Shall we?
Now, you might notice as well, I've said this a few times, I think there's like I'm gonna probably have to replace the controller. So if you see a little bit of a drift here, like when I slightly touch the thing, it turns around, look. That's just me slightly turning it. Now, if it is a point where it's not that bad, then I might not replace the controller. But if it does get bad, I definitely will replace the controller. But let's talk to Charlotte about anything.
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
The Phantom Weasel. Look how clean her design is. And when I say clean, I don't mean in terms of like, actual cleanliness. I mean like, it's just like the pink looks so good. Like the red is all in place. Like it's a very distinctive style. And that's what I love about Genshin, always having these distinctive characters.
Absolutely. I've said it before. And
you can pick them out of a crowd.
The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards
I'm really
who
interested in
worked
the
on his
Phantom
case
Weasel
back in
already.
the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one.
Did you see the talking through the teeth? The excitement? I'm gonna got a lot of mileage out of this one. Like the talking through the teeth. That's such a good voice acting performance.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Oh, hey!
I love this design. I really do.
Meeting you here. Perfect timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Phantom Weasel warning letter? I'm so excited.
First time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it.
Wow, a decade ago, so it's opening back up?
Not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel, nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
And Paimon loves a good detective story, right?
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our Weasel targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations. He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
So he's saying he would also he would steal, yeah, an absolute weirdo. He'd steal stuff from a rich merchant while also stealing, oh my god. What the hell? Yeah, sounds like an absolute weirdo.
The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy
Yep.
did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Oh yeah, stealing from kids? For sure.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
And that is true, by the way. Phantom Thieves is, I believe, it's either like, it's a thing that's like very popular in Japanese detective stories as well, where like, you know, every Phantom Thief I have seen through media, I haven't seen a lot of them, and you know, like, of course I play Persona. That's not the only time, you know. We recently played Raincoat that had a Phantom Thief as well. Phantom Thieves are like through a lot of like Japanese games I've played. Usually they do this thing where like they're very virtuous in their stealing. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So obviously this is a big difference than what we usually see from a Phantom Thief.
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago.
An accident. But yeah, Phantom Thieves are like big in like, you know, like a lot of like media you would see as well, especially in anime as well.
A magician named Cesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape
Oh
performance.
man.
When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all.
So they came to terms with the fact that
Sure
that was who it
enough,
was from that.
Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters.
Oh my god, I'm like Paimon getting excited about
Gate
this.
of the Opera Epiclese for all to see.
That's such a fun
I
concept.
squeezed through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
Oh, it's so cool. Like with the different type of text and stuff like that. That's so cool.
This is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the opera house, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Wait, so there's like, okay, so the accident happened 10 years ago, but this for sure has something to do with this then, I
without
assume.
a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance.
Oh my god, and Charlotte's so excited about this too. Because, of course, it's a story, right? It's a huge story.
What seems like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now? And what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Because even if it's not the Phantom Thief, that's a huge story of a copycat as well.
If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
He might steal your favorite snacks. He might try to nab you, little Paimon. Like, I don't want to scare her, but I'm wondering, like, I think the snacks might even scare her more. She loves her snacks. And rightly so. Paimon, you love all the snacks you want. But we'll say, I don't want to ever be like, hey, someone's going to rob you, Paimon. Even though we're joking.
Oh, let him try. In fact, I'm gonna use
Oh,
these
no.
right now. Let's see what he can do about that.
Paimon, I will not let anyone touch your snacks, okay? You deserve all the snacks in the world, and you can eat all the snacks you want.
The people have spoken. It's clear that the public are very concerned about the Phantom Weasel's reappearance.
I love this. Look at Lyney in the back. Lyney's in the back doing a little show.
See, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article.
Oh my
I
god.
just feel like something is missing, though.
Everyone's allowed to clap for Lyney. You know what's so interesting as well about like this as well? Like when Lyney does street magic, it shows that he just loves magic, right? He doesn't just do it for like the big performances.
Exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Lyney?
Lyney!
Yeah. Looks like he's performing some magic, which I love. Look at this.
Magic. Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lyney!
The voice acting is always very good in this game because it's clear as well, like they directed him so well on who the character should be, and I love that. But Charlotte's really good too, like, right? Like you get the excitement of like this scoop, right? Just coming from the tone of her voice, the breathiness that she, barely takes a breath when she is so excited.
The original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too! And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
And I wonder if he studied him as well. Great outfit,
you
Lyney.
serious?
I'm so excited to talk to
What
Lyney.
connection is that?
I'm so excited.
Oh, relax. My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go. No time for delay.
I'm anticipating this so much. And right outside his house, by the way, Lyney is doing this. Like, so freaking, like, dedicated. The last time we talked to Lyney was after what happened. So I'm wondering if this is going to be another conversation where, like, it could be awkward, right? It could definitely be awkward. But I think also we're, like, very good at, like, progressing conversations forward, even in the most awkward situations. You know, we've literally talked to, like, you know, we literally had a story quest where we in the past, like story quests in the past, where we've talked to people after, like, some of the craziest moments have happened in their lives. We can do awkward, you know? We can do awkward.
Wow, Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Let's hear that
It's
voice.
simple. Come closer and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Oh, keeping the magic alive as well. I just, like, honestly, I wanted to start crying because I thought about their past again with the knave and stuff like that.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Oh,
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
oh, so good.
Aw.
Yeah, oh, that's okay.
And
That's
now
good, though.
You're
You
getting
guessed
a
it.
little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out.
See, this is actually, like, a very, like, this is, have you ever done this as a kid? You know, as a kid when they, when you go, I can read your mind. And you're like, go. And you're like, you're thinking, he can't read my mind. You know, and you're like, ah, damn
You
it.
snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play.
I love this
No,
character so much.
that's not a good habit.
And actually, like, you know, what's really nice as well, like, a mischievous character, but, like, it's really cool that, like, they have, you know, his job is mischievous, is to try and deceive things. And he's talking about, like, how, like, it's not good to, like, lie in these situations, right?
You can tell? Oh boy. You really can read my mind.
No, I think that's really impressive writing
Of
for a character
course.
like that.
Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
Very sweet stuff. Very sweet stuff here from Lyney's character.
All right. Got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
So sweet. And it's kind of like when a rock star tells someone you shouldn't party all the time, right? It's like, oh, that's a layer to them I didn't expect, right? It's like they're trying to, like, you know, lead by example.
Hey, Lyney?
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you
Oh,
looking
my-
for me? What's the situation?
I love his voice.
Why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Yeah.
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
Like, even the tights in the outfit, like, I know I won't go on about it all the time. I just think, like, it's such an inspired outfit, right? It's such an outfit that, like, you know, like, the choice they made for that is really inspired. Like, I appreciate it a lot. I think they did such a good job with
that
it.
child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions.
Which I think makes sense, right? I think it makes
That,
sense.
plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me.
So smart.
You guys, on the other hand, let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Wow. Got it in
Yeah.
one. Is this more of your trickery at work?
I wonder if he figured this out by, like, seeing Charlotte with us, knowing that, like, Charlotte probably was one of the people that would have, like, you know, been worked up about this, and he probably heard about the
Wait,
Phantom Weasel.
really? No trickery.
Okay, it was
this
just luck.
time. It was pure luck.
There
His
you go.
warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking
Yeah,
around
yeah,
about that.
That's what I was thinking.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel. So, Lyney, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Angry, okay.
Why?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
Oh no. Oh no.
What are the chances? Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
Oh, hopefully
Well,
not.
If he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show.
Yeah, because people too. Yeah, I totally get that. People too afraid.
A long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day. This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it.
And like, you know what I feel about Charlotte? That like maybe the reason why she's so respected amongst a lot of people in Fontaine, and I've only gotten respect so far. Maybe it's going to change as time goes on. But from Charlotte's perspective, I think a lot of people like she's not very. First of all, she offers stuff obviously like as like, it's never like this thing where you feel like she's being like super invasive, and also her excitement is like very, very understandable and infectious.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
Yeah, this is exciting though. It isn't, and you know what I'm saying. Even like if I'm looking at what's infectious, it's exciting. The idea of like a kind of like a duel.
Honest, Lyney. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
Big compliment.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say I don't care much for the comparison. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower. Just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now.
Charlotte's so excited.
3, 2, 1.
The camera just panned. Like, we didn't even look away. Yes, my face is Paimon and Wanderers too.
It's gone!
Where'd it go?
That's the question. Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear.
Right. Okay, so when a thief takes something, it's gone, until you can obtain it back yourself. But when a magician makes things disappear, it's for fun and it comes back.
If I could now invite you all to check your clothes,
no.
There might be a surprise in there somewhere.
No.
A surprise?
Oh my god, look at Wonder's face, it's so cute. Huh?
It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time!
Yeah, no, we didn't even move a second. Lyney is incredible.
An outstanding trick! Sorry, Lyney, it seems that my previous praise was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
I mean, yeah, if you can call theft an art form
Don't
as
worry,
well,
I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians.
I think that's actually really
Cesar's
cool.
Death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
And people are very easy to blame you a lot as well at the trial.
Imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters.
Okay, is that like, when you say a yellow flower means happiness and stuff, I guess, or?
A Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice.
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic.
If Lyney said I was a successful YouTuber, I'd start crying.
It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time.
Oh my god.
But it'll have to wait until this Phantom Weasel business is behind us.
Charming, like, to a level I am not even able to comprehend.
Well noted. In that case, this brings us to the end of our interview. I, for one, am looking forward to the final showdown between you
Yeah,
and
no, it's exciting. It's super exciting.
Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time. But let's hope the Phantom Weasel is caught by then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
So,
Yeah, I really like Charlotte and her writing. I really like it a lot.
Tell us how you did that flower trick now.
I don't know if I even want to know.
I'm afraid that's my little
Yeah.
secret.
I don't want to know.
Aw.
Magic is so special like that, you know?
Magicians are entitled to their secrets.
Yes.
You feel it too, right? So itchy.
Trigger happy again.
Well, magicians
Yep,
are
and I need to hear
entitled
Paimon's
their
lines.
secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done.
Great. The Phantom Weasel, you sure you'll be able to handle him?
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Yes. 100%.
Magician's assistants? That sounds fun. Assistants are technically magicians too.
How can you say no to Paimon's excitement?
Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done. Shall we go first?
We'll help with your investigation.
Excellent. Thank you for putting your trust in moi.
Paimon, he says moi. He's really
The
fancy.
first thing we need to look into is who Cesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the Weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal. But if he wasn't the Weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the Weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Cesar, his fiancée Jemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there.
Okay.
We should make a move.
Lynette's already on the case.
Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
That's gonna be awesome. Meeting up with Lynette as well. This is great. This is absolutely great. This is so cool. And we got a gift from him as well. You know? That's so cool. I think as well, like, you know, they showed at the start of this game something incredibly interesting as well. Which was, when we got to Fontaine, I should say, they showed that Lyney was able to catch a thief because they were able to see the sleight of hand trick, and they're very good at seeing the sleight of hand. And I'm really glad that they called back to it now by saying, like, look, yes, I was able to, like, see the sleight of hand, but that doesn't mean that we're the same thing, you know? And I think it's actually such an interesting way of looking at it, because it's like trying to separate the separation of what a thief is as well versus just like what, like accepting like that they're exactly the same. Oh, the cemetery looks far away. Oh, look at this in the graveyard setting as well. We were here last with Navia,
You
right?
Take your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
It's been a while, Lynette. We're working as Lenny's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
Wow. Yeah. The way Paimon said it is like makes it sound way more like it makes it sound like it's very serious now.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Jemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel. Well, we won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
Yeah. So we have Balda. So there's lots of people around here as well that are talking to her. I freaking love like the contrast to Lynette and Lyney, by the way. It's one of my favorite things in the game. It's one of my favorite things. The brother and sister contrast.
Do you by any chance know a Jemma?
Jemma? You mean Cesar's fiance? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot.
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no secret why either. She's heartsick.
Heartsick? So she's been coming here for 10 years, which, like, again, I can't, you know, presume what the time for grieving is for anybody.
Ever since Cesar passed away.
Forever,
she's
some
been
cases.
coming here once every week to clean his grave. Often she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself.
Look at Lynette, by the way, like, standing guard, making sure to see if she's coming. But yeah, no, like, again, you never know what the grieving process is like for anybody.
She wanted to speak to him again. She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiancé all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Cesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Their love must have been really strong.
Oh my god. The way again, like I always say, like Paimon like adds so much to the game because like obviously like it hits home as because Paimon's a very sensitive person just like I am. So I think that's why I relate to Paimon in a lot of ways too.
Caesar's reputation fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Jemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years. I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if it does, I'm sure Cesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly.
Man, this music as well. Yeah, no, it is like it's such a sad idea, right? The idea of going to his grave every single day. Well, not every single day, but like still going to his grave for 10 years,
If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Jemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her.
So that's the way people see
Anyway,
it.
all of that
She's
said,
too dedicated.
She's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave.
So it is every day. Yeah, it is every day. That's what I was
She's
thinking.
Okay. Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking some other people.
All right, well,
That's
thanks
so
for
sad.
sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
And like it's one of those
You're
situations
welcome.
as well where like
I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
I don't know, after 10 years, it's very difficult and without any true closure. I want to talk to him again someday. I think as well, like what we're looking at here is well, like, love is so imperfect. It's so imperfect sometimes. And even though we're sitting here going like, we could sit here and be like, she should move on, like, or something like that, which I would never say, because it's such a hard situation. But even if someone did say that, like in a tough way, it's like, well, you don't know how she feels at any current
I'll wait
situation.
for you here and see if Jemma
In the current
shows
situation.
up.
Thank you, Lynette.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
Maybe that's why Gemma's not here.
kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
Because if she thinks he's alive, then would she
I
stop
don't
coming to
know
the
anymore.
grave?
All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't. But what if, just hypothetically, I mean, what if this weasel's the real deal and Cesar was framed?
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Cesar I knew was
Okay.
a good guy.
Okay.
He gave balloons to children on the street, for
Okay.
Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon thief or something? Give me
Whoa.
a break.
So some people saw a different side of him completely.
Please. Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when
Oh.
the police announced the news? You were all,
Okay.
that gosh darn lousy son of a... you think you know a guy. Or
You think you
words to
know a
that
guy? Oh,
effect.
wow.
Wait, did I say that? I don't
This
seem to
is
recall.
Fontaine, though. This is Fontaine. Navia said this. Navia said that people love a downfall in Fontaine.
Hello
Sorry to
there.
interrupt.
Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Cesar?
Just a tiny
You've
bit.
come to the right people. Yep, I was there. Back when Cesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the
That's
inside.
pretty freaking crazy. Again, dove tricks are, because like, how do you get the doves back? How did they
I
come
was
back?
right up close.
They
and
just
didn't
fly back?
blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done.
So it sounds like he was giving gifts to kids. And not just stealing from
Sometimes
them.
he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
Interesting.
He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
So again, there is a different perspective here when we're talking to these people.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah, it's so interesting.
I bet Jemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time.
Yeah. But see, also, like, it's opening a wound again, right? If it isn't him, and if it's someone doing a copycat thing, or someone, like, bringing on his legs, that opens a new wound.
Speak of the devil. That's her over there.
Oh,
If
she's
you've got
arriving.
Any more questions about
Or opens
Cesar,
up an old wound.
She's definitely the one to ask.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting
that's
conversation.
Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong? Wait. It looks like she's injured.
Wait.
Come on, let's see if she's okay.
Yeah, all four. Yeah, but give her some space. Obviously, I know they would. Like, our crew is good. Our crew is good, especially having like there's not one bad person in our crew.
Hi there. You're Jemma, right?
So she is still visiting the grave. Oh, the sad eyes, man.
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid. We mean no harm. It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
My name is Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Cesar was falsely accused. You knew Cesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this.
Yeah, you can see it, man. The pain, the absolute pain etched on her
Promise you
face.
can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
Of course. Are you serious? When he said this, the rain stopped and the sun came out. That is mad.
I never believed that he was the Weasel.
I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Cesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Lynette's thinking of something.
All right, sorry for disturbing you.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
I don't want to be alone. Obviously, that again, from the grieving perspective, this isn't just a headstone. This is talking to him, right? And it's so hard because Lyney and Lynette are so sweet. They're so sweet.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
Right. And it makes sense, not trusting someone right away, especially probably years of people, trying to get information out of her, or at least, it probably brings up a lot of old memories of people trying to get information out of her.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us.
Yeah. No, I see that, and that's so mature that you can see this too.
In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
Sure. I love that they, just because they, in Genshin, they have locations that actually mean something. Where it's how do I say it? There's locations that, you go, okay, I know that place very well. That means, whenever they mention, hey, go back to the Hotel de Boer. Am I pronouncing that right? We'll see it anyway. But, it's I never pronounce the names fully right anyway. Whenever they say, go back to the hotel, here, we'll get it now. So I want to pronounce it just looking at it here now, right? Hotel de Boer, yeah. Whenever they say that, it's oh, I know that place, right? And it's the same with when you're in Liyue, it's oh, go to Wangshu Inn. Oh yeah, I know that place. And it's different than just having let's meet outside the restaurant. And then you have a random restaurant you meet outside. It's it makes sense wherever you meet up in these places. Look at this place from the outside. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I think with those, I think it is the idea of opening up a wound. It is the idea of you don't want to give too much away about it, especially if she does know something. Why would you trust a stranger? Doesn't make much sense at all.
Over here.
Hello. Oh my God, such a joy seeing him. Such a joy. My day is better.
Not joining us today?
I've had her follow Jemma and see if we can make any inroads with her.
Wow.
They should be at a cafe right now. Still, I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us. So, we need a contingency plan.
What should we do?
Today, we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Cesar's former pupil and assistant. When Cesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy to all his magic secrets, and he inherited his craft.
And I imagine he would get close at that point as well.
For long, Lorenzo was the next big magician in town, his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy. He's since left the magic scene, though, and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies.
Interesting, okay.
I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned, though, I hear he's got a hair-triggered temper.
Right.
Best be careful.
Yeah, interesting. Someone's stopping like a passionate thing here to be. Maybe business is his passion now. That could be a case as well. Because business, I think now is like, in some cases different. Like, starting a business in like Fontaine is like a passion project. The same as it is in any place in Genshin. It's different from nowadays where like when we hear businessman, we think like probably stuffy suits. But who knows? You can still have a passion for business in that sense as well. Let's go into the hotel to talk to Lorenzo. I'm really interested to talk to someone who was like so close to Cesar at that stage. Because especially an assistant, because you look how like, but again, Lyney are brother and sister, so it's different. But I still think that, your magic assistant knows your secrets. You have to share with them. You have to trust them.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
Hey, stop it. We're a package deal.
My apologies. These 2 are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former magic maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of autographs would really make their day.
Oh wow, what a way to sell
Forget
this.
the pleasantries, just sit.
He's definitely the direct opposite of Lyney here.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Lyney stroking his ego.
Yeah, the way she said, forget the pleasantries. Paimon is the best.
I only agreed to
Forget
meet
the
since we're
pleasantries.
both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Okay, so he is a bit of a... Like, you're saying, though, as well. It's like, I understand people respecting their time. Having respect for other people on the baseline should be the default.
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic. Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there.
In 2 days, right?
As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Cesar, who...
What is there to investigate?
Stopping us right there. Just stopping
Cesar
it.
was the Weasel, and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes
Oh my God.
nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
He is like shutting this down. Like trying to
Please,
shut this
sir,
down.
No need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
He's gonna-
Possibility? It's a fact, Lyney. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you.
Jesus Christ, the magic is gone out of this
Weasel
dude.
is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this
Stop.
investigation. It'll lead you nowhere.
Oh
Look, if
no.
this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you
What?
for any losses.
What do you mean?
Oh, sir, I'm
Why would you even have to do
honored,
that?
Really, but this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here,
Yeah.
Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head on.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking
See, this is the
to
problem.
do?
You've lost that flair for magic and that passion for magic, right? You've lost that, so you can't comprehend this. It's so interesting to see like someone from the perspective who used to be like in a part of a magician
I
show.
want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you anyway? Look, you of all people should know that a magician never reveals their secrets.
Yeah.
And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Cesar.
Am I?
And move
Maybe I'm
on.
reading too much into it. Was that like somewhat of like a warning? Was that a warning?
Oh, this is getting awkward.
And we're just sitting in our blue chair.
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you!
What?
I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? Want to grab a drink with me?
What happened here though? Like, is like Lorenzo got very defensive very, very quickly, to the point of shutting down Lyney, and Lyney didn't even know what to say at some stages there as well. The last part sounded like a bit of a warning. Hey, dead man, don't tell no tales. Just stop butting into this situation. And it is a situation. If I'm looking at this from the perspective of Lorenzo as well, if it is something that, let's say we give him like the full benefit of the doubt that he just, this is something he just doesn't want to think about. It could be a case where it's like he left magic. If we're looking at this from the pure, like, most charitable way possible, leaving magic because the person you assisted to died is a perfectly reasonable reason to leave magic. It's perfectly reasonable. So then saying to another person, hey, just drop it, I think is also a reasonable response in a lot of ways too, because it's kind of like all these old wounds don't need to be opened up again in some ways. But I still think that it's very strange, and we need to get to the bottom of it as well, though.
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time. You know
This
what
guy's
they say.
gone.
Live
This guy's
fast,
drunk.
Die young.
Young.
You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Man, the world has hurt this man. The world has hurt this man.
Good sir, I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey. Edmondo. He and
Edmondo,
I are
hello.
business pals. We worked together a bunch of times.
Nice jacket,
This
Armando.
is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul-mouthed and hard-nosed. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him.
Jesus, man. What a way to live, though. I couldn't.
And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30,
Okay, I wouldn't talk about this.
Point is, a lot older than when he first got rejected by the girl he was into.
Okay.
He's still into, from what I hear.
Okay, first of all, I don't care what age you are if you haven't had a girlfriend yet. I don't care. I would never shame anyone for that. Let's leave that at the door. But who is he into? I'm getting a hint here.
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out
Why
of
would
you
they
and you
mention
can
this?
forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear?
Jesus, was he into Jemma?
Sorry, I may have had a little too much to drink. All right, I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
I wonder if he was into Jemma. That could be a possibility. It could be.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Lyney, be my guest. But
Very
if
awkward
nothing
conversation
good
in the end.
comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular fashion. Any thoughts?
There's something strange about him.
Totally. And what was all that about
Yeah.
compensating you for your losses?
Exactly. Exactly, Paimon.
Just met make an offer like that.
That's the first thing I was like, why would you even have to do that?
Gotta be hiding something. And not like Jemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
I agree. It's like when you have you ever have you ever like had something that like was broken like or something like that? Like I haven't, but or something's broken or something like is like say if you live with roommates and someone eats something that you had like made or something like that, and then like you're like, man, who ate the thing I made? It was for my dinner or whatever like that. And it's like it reminds me of like if like a roommate goes like, oh, I don't know who ate that, but like, hey man, like I can buy you takeaway. I can get you like some fast food. It's like, why would you ever even have to do that, bro? Like you're clearly guilty now. Like, you know what I mean? Cause or not guilty, but you know what I mean? It's like, why would you even have to offer us that when you had nothing to do with it?
Too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him.
Yep. This is a guy he will spill the beans. Edmondo. You can tell he's a bean spiller. You can tell he's gonna tip over the beans every day of his life. Where is he? Edmondo, time to spill the beans. Time to spill those beans, Edmondo. Come on.
You okay there?
Who are you?
We just met.
Oh, it's you guys. Don't worry
Yeah.
about me. I must have had one too many. I just need to ride it out.
Bro. And you're on your own?
I say way too much back there, didn't I? Yeah, I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad egg.
Paimon called someone a bad egg. If Paimon called me a bad egg, I'd cry for days.
Hey! Keep your voice down. Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions. Or make an enemy out of him.
Okay.
What kind of bad things?
Yeah.
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again.
So he clearly has a lot of power.
Take it from me. Trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve.
Yep.
That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
Yeah, no, it's clear that this that Lorenzo has a lot of power. A lot of power.
There he goes. What do we do now, Lyney?
Shh. I think we're being watched.
No
Someone was
way. Oh
listening
my
in
god,
to
look at
our
the guy
whole
over there.
conversation.
In the black
Don't
suit.
say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We'd better take this elsewhere.
That's, oh my god, he's so good at this stuff. Because again, you, like as a magician, you notice everything that's happening around you, all your surroundings, right? You'd have to. Whereabouts out of the city? Oh, over here, okay. Interesting, so they're gonna follow us, out here. I'm super interested to see what this is.
You followed us a long way.
Oh my
Why
god.
don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
So
Wait.
you're Lyney. And where's your sister? Ain't she with you today?
You talk about his sister? Smooth face Pacino?
Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
Wait, what? You want the...
Paimon doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister.
You tell him.
You, huh?
You tell him. Why does he want this Lynette to be here too?
Save your questions, missy.
De
You're
Niro?
gonna need answers where you're going. Capiche?
De Niro Pacino?
Looks like we can't avoid this fight.
What's the other guy's name?
I'm
Pesci?
not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me
Oh,
up.
come on. You're a 5-star, buddy.
Don't worry, we got this.
Mr. 5-star over here. This is our first bit of... Oh my god! Okay. So let's start with, like... Let's just start using Lyney a little bit as well. So I know we have, like... So what we plan to do was, like, stuff like this. Right? To corral people around like this. But I guess, like, they have to all be in the kind of a similar space.
Now disappear.
But, like, honestly, like... Jesus Christ, have I had a more powerful archer in my life? I don't think so. Is there gonna be more of you? Is that it? Okay, I thought we were gonna be able to use this. We probably will be able to use it in a bit.
They're tougher than we thought.
Powerful archer.
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it did on the lady.
Wait, you got to Jemma.
Let's scram.
You got to Jemma.
Guys, we ain't through with you yet.
Wise guys, Paimon. Paimon just got into the part right away.
We got away. Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating.
It was
someone
told it
else.
had to be Jemma. That's the freaking the
Sounds
injured
like
arm.
They just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else. But who?
Jemma.
You're right. She was injured when we yesterday and she acted like she had something to hide.
Yeah, you're right, Paimon. You're right.
Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Yeah, we're gonna get them now.
Well, if that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us once she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore.
Well, we don't know that for sure. We should follow them and maybe make sure that they never talked, because that's horrible. Make sure they never talk to her again. I'm not saying kill them, by the way. I'm saying go up to them and literally maybe hit them a few more times with a few bursts.
Let's head back to the cafe and see if we can get any information from her.
Still, man, you are horrible. Pacino and De Niro over here are horrible. It's not even one of those things where it's cool. I understand. Here's the thing, by the way. I think one of the things that people forget sometimes, and I'm so prone to that too. Have you ever watched The Sopranos? Right? And I watched The Sopranos, and you're like, man, I love this guy. I love this guy. I love Paulie. I love that. And then they do something horrible, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that they're actually some of the most horrifically horrible actions that can ever be actioned are performed by these individuals in this show. It's you're like, oh yeah, I forgot, because they're so good at writing characters. But in this case, it's just it's one of those things where in Genshin they lull you into this sometimes, where it's oh yeah, it's look at the art style, look how pretty this is. And it's these mafia guys injured this poor widow, which is horrible. And Lynette's with her at the cafe. Perfect protection, by the way. Absolute perfect protection. Couldn't ask for more. Both not talking, though.
Jemma?
Lynette seems like the less social type, right? For sure.
You again. What is it this time?
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine.
I love the way Paimon talks about this. Paimon gets into attack mode right away.
So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
Oh, Paimon.
Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Because we went after the truth.
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
Yep. Absolute, B words. B-A-S-T-E, yeah, words.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of my being.
Rightly so. Rightly so.
It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Cesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid.
No, so she's been trying oh, that's awful. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them already.
How do I know I can trust you? Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all? And why are you doing this?
Honestly, we could get a vouch, I'd say, from anybody in this town already, I'd say. Well, from a lot of people at the very least, Actually, you know what? That's not true. I'd say, Lyney and Lynette would vouch for us, for sure. But that's not much here. I think for sure Nervalette would say we're at least, dedicated. Navia, for sure, would be able to say that we do something. It's a pity because I think that one of the things that, with Navia, this isn't a crime because obviously they deal with stuff that falls through the cracks. This is something Navia wouldn't even know about, because I think if Navia did know about this, Navia would have this sorted so quickly.
I'm afraid I can't
in terms of the
reveal
people
all the
coming after
details
her.
Just yet, but I can promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true
Go on,
identity.
Lily. Go on.
Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Okay. How can I help you?
I've heard that Cesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, I'd like to take a look at them. Do you know where it is?
The Fleuve Sonde. But the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since.
Oh, wow, okay.
I also know that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around. If you're serious about going there, please be careful.
Thank you. No, you be careful as well.
Understood. Lynette, you stay here and take care of Jemma.
Oh my God.
Don't let her come to harm.
Oh, imagine me. Lynette's protected you. You're so safe.
Got it. But if I'm staying here, I'm ordering dessert.
You can order whatever you want. Whatever you want.
I mean, bon appetit. But stay sharp, too. They're likely to come for you while I'm away.
Lynette gives out the vibes of someone who's like, I will do this. You know, like it's kind of like, you know, when you're like, you have a friend who's like, can you please come on like the date with me so I'm not like, you know, alone. And then the type of person to be like, fine, but you're paying for the food. You know what I mean? And it's like totally reasonable. It's like one of those reasonable things where it's like, I will do this for you, right? You know what's kind of, you know, I always like, you know, that there's a YouTube short I saw where it's like, you know, that friend who's like loves you but socially distant. So like Lynette's the type of person that will like not talk to you for hours, but then if you were like said like, oh man, like I haven't been drinking enough water lately, like they'd like look at you for a second and then like 2 hours later they'd walk by and be like, hey, and they'd have like a water bottle and be like, hey, you know, I got you this, you know, just don't even think about it, you know.
Okay. All right. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now.
Great. Power save mode off. That's the vibe I get off of Lynette anyway, for sure.
With me here, nothing will happen.
I believe you. I believe you.
Whatever you do, please be careful.
Thank
if
you.
anything happens to you because you're investigating Cesar, I'll never be able to forgive myself.
No, the reason we're doing this is because we'd never be able to forgive ourselves if anything happened to you. Ain't that right, Gone the Threat? That's right. I'm protecting her too. No, you're not Gone the Threat. You know you're not. You're looking for free coffee. Gone the Threat's gonna run as soon as anything happens. Okay, so we have to enter Caesar's workshop, which is gonna be super, super interesting to me. Oh, it's down this way, maybe? No, it's up this way, for sure. Yeah, this team is pretty good. I wouldn't even get to use side, but the thing is, like, I don't have, like, a lot of characters who are, like, incredibly built, but I will say that, like, my official is like actually incredible, I think. Like in terms of just like maybe even you could say, oh, compared to your other characters, maybe that, you know, but like I think that like a lot of like I have like a few, I say I have like 6 or 7 characters who are like incredibly built by accident, by the way. Like it's not like, cause like official is great by accident. I'm not a great builder of characters. I think the one character who the other characters are like, you know, Kazuha, Eula is really well built. Sayu's better than she was before for sure, but Fischl is one of like the ones, and Jean is pretty well built as well. There's a lot of characters that are just like, I think I put like whatever artifacts on that I can that are from the sets to get the bonuses. But Fischl's very good. Oh, we almost landed on the ladder. And Fischl sometimes can take out enemies by themselves. They're just like that. This is such a cool area as well. I think Sayu's better now than before. So Sayu is like, yeah, like her attributes aren't crazy, but like I know like for a lot of people like this isn't good at all. But it's just like I think she's well built. I think like Fischl's very good.
I created another universe
for me.
and
I actually think
found-
she's fantastic. This is I love this. I love the way I built this character. And again, it was just randomly I was able to get like one of the artifacts for crit rate. I think it's a fantastic crit rate. Cosmo's also, like, in my opinion, built pretty well, like, and always does a lot of great damage. Xiao is built well as well, I think, too, with the crit rate, but I think the crit rate could be higher. Do you think I should probably, I think that's one thing I could do for Xiao, since I love him so much, is actually improve his crit rate even more. Like, give him some crit rate artifacts or something like that. Look at Xiao. Eula needs to be built better. I think so anyway, because crit damage, I don't know if crit damage is what we want in her, because like her crit damage is insane. Yeah. And then other characters, like I feel like they're like, oh yeah, we have we have a C5. Which is increase the level of the Gua, yeah. Xing Shou we're gonna be using a lot more soon too as well.
If Jemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first.
If those boxes are they're just sealing us off, we can get through this no problem. No one's been here in a long time.
It should be just down here.
Wow, it's underground. It's even deeper underground, I should say. Oh, it's a freaking domain. Interesting. This early? It feels early, right? Oh my god, look at it as well. I think we use this team. This team is the team we're going with. Girls, get them. I think this is good. Interesting, man. Look at this. The domain looks like it's like the underground area of where we just were with the Spina de Rosula. I'm excited for this. And then we're also getting to play as Lyney again. who we have as a character. I'm going to be building up Lyney after I finish building up. Does this move? Oh, it does. After I finish building up Kaveh.
Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props. Let's head in further.
Oh my god, and all the different magic props as well. I'm also very excited to build up, like, to get to a point where all the... Oh!
Oh, is this one of Cesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
Okay. Hey, little puppets, meet my ski. Meet my ski. Oh my freaking god. Oh, there's enemies down here. I have chills. Look at this place. It's a full magician's area. The balloons everywhere. It's so crazy.
And voila!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Let's see now as well.
Wind, hear me.
I don't know why I did that one, but we did it.
No rest for the wicked.
I just want to like build up
Now
like
disappear.
to like a place where like I can like I love the freaking moves here with yeah, this is what I wanted to do. So add some like electricity, right? And let's do this. Look at this, it's so cool. That is so neat. That is so freaking neat. I tried to bring it over there as well. That is so neat. And this is my original plan for this as well, by the way. Obviously with Fischl as well, but you know what I mean? Already this is insane. Like, I think it's actually really good in my opinion. You know? I think it's so fun. The two spin, the double spin.
Look, the doll in the box is glowing.
Where's it going? Oh, to unlock another door. Very cool. Now let's, well, as we're doing this, whack.
There's something
Oh.
written on the card on this doll.
Which one?
Take a closer look.
Over here? There's something written on the card of this doll. Whereabouts is that? The music here as well? It's so freaking cool. Meet my ski. Where's the information on the card and the doll? Oh, wish list. I'd like a little dove. I want a robot with cool powers. You need your parents' permission to own a pet. You'll also need to take good care of it. I brought a fluffy toy dove for you this time. If you're ready to own a pet, I'll make a real dove appear for you next time, Cesar. So it's about the wish list that they gave to the kids. I want a bucket of fried chicken that never runs out. I'd like a new bag. Note, there's no such thing as fried chicken that never runs out. There's just no such thing as children who never grow up. Also, eating too much fried food is bad for you. Make sure to pair it with something healthy like a salad, alright? So these were the different wish lists that were given by the kids. I'm going to try and use some of Lyney's abilities as well, by the way, that I remember. I won't remember obviously everything, but yeah. Yeah, so like it seems like, yeah, we found the like different things that the kids would ask for. A fried chicken that never runs out sounds pretty cool though. Wow, look at this! These rooms! Are you enemies or? Oh my god, and like that big gigantic hats. This is so neat.
These magic boxes are moving.
Yeah?
What do we do?
We hit them,
One
right?
of them looks different from the rest.
Oh.
Let's investigate.
Oh, we have to see which ones pop. Wait, they all pop out. No, it's the one that's glowing that has to pop out. Wait, restart. So it's that one there. We have to follow it. The music here is so freaking cool too. I freaking love it. Ah, let me up. Oh, we hit it with an arrow maybe with Lyney. That makes more sense. I love that, man. There we go. Awesome. And of course we created the distractions as well, which is what you do with a charge attack, isn't it? And it's this one over here. Let's see where it moves to. Where are you going? There we go. Awesome. It's really cool. And then we're going inside. It's like a vault. This is one of the coolest looking domains ever. Ever. Like, look at all the balloons. Can you pop them? No, you can't. Okay. That'd be crazy. The amount of like processing power you would need to be able to pop every single balloon is absolutely crazy.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
I thought the domain was pretty early as well. Lyney, what are you looking at?
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop. There's a distinct lack of mystery.
Yep. That makes perfect sense.
We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Cesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption. If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere.
That would be so freaking sick.
Aha! If I just move this book, then...
And of course, Lyney gets it right away.
And... presto.
Standing on the books as well is so, actually adorable.
How did you know?
I'm a magician too, and apparently great minds
Yeah,
really
that's what I was
do
thinking
think
as well.
alike.
But standing on the books is hilarious.
Looks pretty big inside. Let's head in and take a look around.
Sure. Let us take a look around. I've got a common chest for our trouble, I'll take it. Oh yeah, with the drifting as well, I noticed that, yeah, it's also aiming. I forgot it's also aiming, which is pretty important. Okay, so let's try out some of this stuff. So first of all, we have the distraction right. This gives us like a... It should, right? Oh, we have to charge it fully. Yeah. That gives us a distraction, so they attack that, and that gives us a stack, right? And how...
Clever trick.
And the flourish is what removes that stack, right? That's the flourish. So if we get like a stack like this, let's see, so that's one. Now, I'm forgetting how to get the multiple stacks, because I know you have to get the stacks, right? I know they will disappear. Maybe it's you have to... Let's see, maybe you have to like... Oh my god. Because we have Lyney. Look at that. So good. Talents. If Lyney consumes HP when firing off a prop arrow, the Grim Malkin summons an arrow. The Grim Malkin summoned by the arrow will, upon hitting an opponent, restore 3 energy to Lyney, which is pretty great. Increases damage dealt by 80% of his attack. The music here is so freaking good. It's so freaking good. Because we have one stack here like this, and I thought if we hit it again, maybe if we like... That's 2. So it is, okay, it is like that. Fair enough. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Interesting character traits. Oh, look at the bow, by the way. Holy hell. So cool. Wait, we might have missed some notes. I should go down and check, right? Look at this area. Look. Oh. This is not a secret room where we can't go back down, I don't think. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, let's try this out. So... You okay? So that gives us a stack like that. But we can get rid of that stack. Maybe we have to attack different guys as well. See, it's stacked less. Maybe it's because you have to... I'm really interested into what what I'm doing wrong here with the stack, because I thought that's how you like stacked it up after that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Because then you can do this. And the floor. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Really, really cool combat from Lyney. I'm actually gonna have so much fun with that, especially when we get better at it.
Why have you stopped, Lyney? Is there some device in that box?
Huh. It just looks familiar somehow.
Oh, really?
Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on
Sure.
ahead. If anyone makes a major discovery, let's rendezvous here.
Fair enough. I would like you to be with us.
See you in a bit.
Lyney's been fantastic.
The placement of this device inside.
The music.
If I remember correctly,
So you remember something about it. The music is like very like it is very like Phantom Thief in a way, right? So we have to like make a discovery over here as well. This is such a cool location. This is one of the coolest looking domains ever. Now, if you're afraid of the carnival, I imagine this is hell. Imagine if you're afraid of the circus. This is the biggest hell you've ever seen in your life. So it's another one of these things here. Oh! Activate the magic steps without stepping on the same one twice. Oh my god. So much fun. I love this stuff. Oh, how do we do this?
Oh,
damn it. We can do this.
Like
I love this stuff though. Yeah, we can do it.
Guess we've got to finish it in one run, huh?
I think starting... Okay, let's see. Can we jump? Oh, I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do. Oh my lord. So, boom. Boom. No, I stepped on it twice by accident. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I know what to do. I have an idea. I have an idea of what I can do. This is so much fun. Ba 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 ba. Now come back over here. No, I stepped back on it. No, I stepped off for a second. Stepped back on it. Okay, I can do this. 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 The music's so freaking good here. I can do this. This is the most fun I've ever had in my life, ever. I can't even imagine having this much fun. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. It's okay. It's okay. We can do this. I'm just so trigger happy because again, I love these type of puzzles. Let's go. Ba 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 da 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 da. Okay. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. That's one. We stepped on it. Shangling will go over here. Step onto this. Oh, we got it. We got it. We got it. This is the plan all along. I was just being, no, I didn't even do, no, please. Please, game. I love you so much, please. Let's go. Really, it's my fault for being like, just so excited about this. I love this stuff. Like, you can see I know what I'm doing. I know what the pattern we have to go with is. It's just a matter of like getting so excited to do it. If I could move with a D-pad, it'd be different. Would it? Who knows? You can't stop the excitement that Calvin feels. There we go. See? This is what I wanted to do, but I was just going too trigger happy with it. Awesome. So fun. So fun. And it's going to create a box. Oh, another clockwork thing as well. A lot of clockwork stuff, of course, in Fontaine. Wow, look, it created a hat with loads of all the cards. The pattern with the cards coming out as well is really cool. This is just a really cool location. Whoa.
There's a hidden room here.
Yeah, it's a study.
Let's see. Oh, this bookcase is full of Caesar's own notes. He wrote a lot about the principles of magic.
Music, oh my god.
Whew. Much too advanced for Paimon.
This song is incredible.
Hey, look! Is that Caesar's diary on the table?
We reading? Or we reading?
This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it,
sure.
Shall we?
About the wish list.
At one of my shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer.
Of course. Of course.
As I write this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted.
Oh my god.
Boy, are my legs sore.
You walked into that?
I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
So he did, obviously the wish list is a real thing, obviously. So he like, man, the kids, they of course they're gonna be like, oh my god, like that's amazing. What do I wish? Like, of course they're gonna take him up on that. That's gonna be the most exciting thing about their week, about the children studying magic.
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own.
Wait.
They looked much too young to be unsupervised.
Is this Lyney and Lynette?
Anyway, they said that they wanted me to teach them how to do magic. It's not uncommon for children to ask this, of course, but I've never seen any of them.
Oh my god, it's
serious
Lyney and
about
Lynette,
as
isn't
these
it?
two.
It's them.
I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. They seemed so committed. I couldn't turn them down.
Man. That has to be them. About Lorenzo's issues.
It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't.
Oh, so he was already having issues at this point.
Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I'll have to talk him around.
Wait a second. Remember the letter said... wonder if that has something to do with Lyney and Lynette then, because remember the letter said... Wait, wouldn't you know that Lyney and Lynette got taught by Cesar, right?
I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new
Maybe
to
it's
the
not
world of
them.
magic.
Maybe it's not them entirely.
They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan. They wanted to call me master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician worth their
He sounds so
salt could have
sweet.
taught them what I have. They're the geniuses
Right?
here. Compared to them, I don't deserve to be called any sort of
He sounds
master.
so sweet.
With time, I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their age. I fear they've had to grow up too fast. I don't dare to imagine what they must have been through.
We know Lyney and Lynette have been through the worst.
Jemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing. They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed.
Do you think that could be... Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so, maybe, because maybe... Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the 2 kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission. Sounds like their parents have other plans
Their
for
father and their
them.
mission.
I guess we'll be parting ways soon.
Okay. I think that kind of confirms it. The idea of father, right? The knave. That's interesting, because then, what if this started a rift between him and Lorenzo?
It's only been 10 days since I first met them, but I think that I've gotten a feel
Only
for their
10
personalities
days.
now.
They're prodigies.
They're very tough, but also very cautious, and they trust no one but each other. This, I fear,
Wow.
is not a good habit to have.
Man, oh my god.
They hide things from me too. For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied. That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows.
Of course, of course.
I can sense that their lives have been hard, possibly even dangerous too. They're not like other children. It's a shame that I can't do more to help them. After thinking things over, I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods, and that is why we must find our own truth.
Oh my god. Like, how does this affect them, I wonder?
P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so opinionated nowadays. Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that?
This has, like, this, because then I'm thinking then, like, what if, like, this caused a rift between him and Lorenzo?
P.P.S. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other. I bet they've already forgotten every word I said. Oh, Cesar, Cesar. Just mind your own business next time.
Interesting. So he's like, he's so helpful that, like, everyone around him was like, why you help, like, these kids clearly have something wrong with them, but he was like the nice one who's like, no, I see something in them. They're amazing. They're so good at this. While his wife and his closest confidant were like, hey, I don't think this is a good idea, but he saw the good in it. So interesting. So we know the wishes are true. There was 2 children studying magic with him that had been through a lot, that had a father, right? That they had to do some, they had a mission. Lorenzo wasn't happy about this whatsoever, and then they left after 10 days.
2 magic geniuses with a father
Yes,
and a
yes,
mission,
Paimon put it together too.
Sounds a lot like he was writing about Lyney and Lynette, don't
I
you
do,
think?
and this room is beautiful, by the way, but yes, 100%.
So did they meet Cesar when they were kids? Let's go ask
That's like a bit of information we didn't know, but then again, I think it makes sense for the character of Lyney and Lynette to keep information close to their chest, right? At least in my book. That's so interesting. Because then, like, I wonder if that's like what the letter meant, where remember it's like what you did 10 years ago. Maybe they took something away from Lorenzo. Maybe that's it. This changed everything for Lorenzo and Cesar.
Shh, hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this
Yeah,
place.
we have something to talk about too.
Fishy?
This is
What
super
have
interesting.
you found?
Because if he found something fishy, then it's super fishy.
All in good time. Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is performed.
Okay.
First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance.
Okay.
Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Oh my god, look at this. The performance mode.
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it. And then what?
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished. As if everything that just happened was some sort of shared
Very
illusion.
cool. And it's like tricking the mind, right?
Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking.
Yeah, what do you mean?
The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Cesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy.
So he died that day. During the trick.
He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No one could hope to survive that fall. Not without a vision, at least.
So that trick that day, because we knew he died from like a high altitude accident, but I didn't think it was like something like that.
And no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes and the relevant gadgets here in his workshop.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape has never been done, huh? Paimon was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it.
Right.
Wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then where does the real magician go? How does he get out?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Cesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know
But you
about.
found out about
Once
it.
the magician's inside and the box is lifted up into the air, the audience's view of the box is fixed at a certain angle. From where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom, but the back and the top are now no longer visible. At this point, the magician presses a button inside the box, opening a secret door out of view.
There's so many, like the way that Lyney explains this is like, even though he's talking about us in casual conversation, there's such a respect for like magic tricks that like it sounds like he is like on stage
He
sometimes.
then escapes
Great
through
shot.
this
Oh my god.
door onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
Yeah, but just don't get hurt, please.
Well, there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. That takes an exceptional degree of showmanship.
That's the thing. That's always the thing, right? Because it's like the same thing with anything that's like to do with performance, right? It's like you can learn how to play the guitar. You can learn how to play the drums. You can learn how to be in a band. But the idea, the showmanship that goes along with it is like a totally different thing altogether. A totally different thing. It's something that's why when, you know, people go like, oh, I could do that. It's like, yeah, you could play the guitar. You could. It's like, but can you do the other side of it that like is so important when it comes to like music as well and to performance as well, you know?
There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no
there's so many
escape.
little things he's saying that goes into it.
Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick.
I love the way he describes this.
Cesar was a highly accomplished magician. But unfortunately, even he didn't manage
And that
to
makes
pull
him
it
so
off.
upset. As it would, like, right? As it definitely would.
So, how did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Cesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
Man, I love Lyney talking about details, right? Because it's such a passionate thing for him.
Okay. Nothing suspicious there.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here, which leads me to believe that Cesar was in fact left-handed.
Why would Cesar pretend to be right-handed?
Because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out
Wow.
too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation
That's
at hand.
really interesting, right? Because again, you picked up, you know, if you pick up the dominant right hand thing for sure, yeah.
But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will so as to avoid arousing their suspicion. The essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie.
Yeah.
If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask.
I love that. I love this.
And so, Cesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations. Great magic always requires sacrifices.
Oh my god, the way he said that too, though.
But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand. That's why he set his gadgets with the mechanism on his left.
Maybe someone exploited that fact against him?
Exactly. I think that's likely
How
what
so?
happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape.
Oh, and then he's standing in the
He would have
box.
had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat.
Oh no, yeah.
It wasn't there.
The way, like, are you guys agreeing with me? The way Lyney explains this is so incredible. And look at the eyes here, like looking to the piercing eyes. That's intentional.
Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on. Instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way.
And look, they even did the shaking of the camera there as well. It's like Lyney doing this, like, is on a different level than how someone else would investigate this, right? He's able to show us, like, the direct way that you would do this. He's almost taking us there without us being there. This is also a great angle that you can see his entire outfit. It looks fantastic.
With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything. The authorities would find nothing suspicious and conclude that his death was due to his own error.
It had to be Lorenzo then, right? It has to be.
When in reality, someone switched the boxes, and they did it to murder him.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
How would they be able to make the switch without being noticed? That would be difficult to pull off, no?
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed and who could move his props around without arousing suspicion. Someone who was always by
Lorenzo.
his side.
Lorenzo.
Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
He's here. Oh my god, the businessman followed us.
Just couldn't let sleeping dogs
And his
lie,
voice is
could
perfect
you?
for this. Lyney is so freaking good. Is so freaking good at presenting this whole story. Like I was gripped.
There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died 10 years ago. I didn't want to have to do this, you know. Silencing you the hard way just creates more problems for me to deal
Dude, you
with.
think you don't know what's about to happen.
But I gave you your chance. I hoped you'd do what's good for you and back off like the lady, but you disappoint me.
You mean Jemma? So you are the one
Of
who's
course,
been
of
threatening her.
course. Of course at this stage.
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, you never even
I think Lyney
knew
and Lynette
him,
did.
but for some reason you just wouldn't
I
drop
think
it.
Lyney and Lynette did.
Which is why you can't leave this
Oh my God, look at this
place
angle.
alive. Take them out and make it quick.
Oh, you're sending in Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, and De Niro? Dude, it's not gonna work.
Do your
Yes, my man. Yes. It's not gonna work. Okay, so first of all, let's send out a little distraction. Hey, let's send out a distraction. Get a little stack going. Look at that. We should probably like put some other things on them before they do that, right?
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Like, but I love this move. I can't wait to use. Come over here. Come over here. Oh my god. No, the whole way that Lyney was talking during the whole conversation, to me was like magical. Like it was a magical, you know, pun intended. Like I think it's so exciting, the idea of like them. I love this. Look at this. Look at that. I think it's so exciting using a magician for this. Like obviously because he is a magician and he obviously loves magic as well, and he's a magician himself. And obviously it seems that he was like trained by him as well. Is what we're getting at. Because that's what seems to be what they're trying to tell here. But the way he was able to do was like able to come at this from a magician's perspective. The fear that you would have, the trepidation you would have at some points as well. Like, oh, we have to do this first, you know? We have to do this first. Yeah, I forgot to do this at the first time we did this, but... Oh. It just destroyed him. Look at them running out! A carrot to the back of the head. But you get what I'm saying? Like Lyney understands, like, all of that. The emotions behind being in a
tougher than you look.
A magic trick that goes wrong, and you could feel that. And we saw that at the start. Magic trick went wrong at the start of this game. At the start of Fontaine.
Had enough yet, Lorenzo? Your cronies can't help you now. I think it's high time you started talking. And what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Cesar?
When Lyney gets serious as well, right?
If I had a mora for every time you said that man's name. Of course you idolized Cesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician. Me.
Okay.
He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible
Bitter.
children.
You sound bitter.
I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me.
You are bitter.
So it was jealousy.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Cesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it.
And that's why he's probably annoyed by these kids come along as well, because that just shows like how dedicated Cesar was to his magic.
He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him.
There it is.
Never bothering
There it
to
is.
think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show?
Because he's looking
for
at
it?
them, why are you teaching these kids free of charge? Why are you doing this? And Cesar even said it, any magician worth their salt would teach them this.
But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him.
Great voice performance here.
No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing, isn't he?"
Maybe you should have, like, accepted that, man. You could become even more amazing, right?
Amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke.
Coping. You were coping.
Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had.
Here's the thing, right? I totally get how annoying that would be. You're putting work into something and you're not getting paid for it. You deserve to get paid if you're putting in work for something, right? I want to know why you didn't leave.
He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their mora. There was nothing he hated.
Okay, so
more
why didn't you
than
leave?
that. And with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, it would expose me, and it would destroy
And rightly
me.
so. So your defenses of why you didn't leave was because he's such a good dude that even if you went off and did your own thing and tricked people out of their money, he would have... Okay, you suck. You suck. You suck so bad. You suck. You suck. You were awful. Oh man, I'm not gonna leave because he's gonna expose me for stealing and for tricking people out of their money. Translation of this. I didn't want to leave because he was too nice. He would have told people I was a rat.
I had to kill him. There was no other way.
What do you want about? That's, again, you are out of your mind if you think that there's no other way. You were out of your mind. You could have gone to a different city if you really wanted to steal stuff that bad. And look at you became a businessman.
And this was your only motive?
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
Because it is selfish. It is petty. It is jealousy. It is dirt.
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play.
There's that as well.
For instance,
Yep.
maybe you were in love with Jemma, but she was engaged to Cesar.
There's that as well.
In love with Jemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Well, that's the first time your voice is shook. That's the first time that you've been, like, shaken, even though you're in pain.
Guess I was wrong about that then. Next question. Are you the Phantom
Lyney's
Weasel?
so good when he's serious. Look at this. We love both Lyney's.
I am.
There you go.
Cesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way. That the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world.
I personally agree. You dirt man. I agree.
I never bought into any of that. I was more interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable
Oh my god.
treasures.
Was he the thing that gave it the reputation of the Phantom Weasel?
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much it was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
You know what's so upsetting about this as well for you, Lorenzo, Dirtman, right? You know what's so upsetting for you is that you, right? You, even when you're doing something that is working, which is stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft and all this stuff, and it was working, you're still not known. You were named something that wasn't even your actual name.
So, that's the story, huh? Well, I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your
This
trial.
is open and shut. You're going away.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws.
Look at this environment.
You've seen what's here, and my last-ditch effort to stop
Oh my
it getting
God.
out has failed. What else can I do? So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Cesar could never give me. I wouldn't choose for things to end this way, but I regret nothing.
Oh, you're gonna regret a lot. You're gonna regret a lot. This whole thing of like, I regret nothing. Okay, buddy. Okay. 10 years of wealth after killing someone. Yeah, that makes sense. So dirt, like what the
Very
hell?
well. In that case, I'll
'Cause-
contact the
'cause-
guards.
Yeah, thank you, Lyney. But to me, it's also like this case of like, Like, the reason why, like, it's so, like, frustrating, like seeing the guy like this is, like, he's angry about the joy that is given and the lack of money he's getting for this. And at first I was like, okay, if, like, when he said, like, he forbade me, I thought he was going to say he forbade me from leaving. I'm like, okay, that's a bit rough. You shouldn't do that. But then I'm like, no, he just literally was like, don't steal stuff. And if you steal stuff from people, I'm going to tell. Can you imagine someone, like, being like that? Like, it's like, man, I hate Jerry. Why do you hate Jerry? Every time I try to steal stuff from the kids down the street, yeah, he tells their parents that I've stolen from them and they beat me up. It's like, sounds like you're the problem.
Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me. I'll meet you just outside the workshop when I'm back.
No problem, Lyney. No problem whatsoever. Lovely Lyney. We love you. We love you, Lyney. We love you, Lyney. Yeah. Did we get a chest for this? Oh, we did. It's right here. Did we get a chest for this? That's like such a me thing to do. Did we get a chest for this? I wonder how this is going to affect Lyney now, because I'm frustrated as heck with this. But it's very clear Lyney and Lynette were the characters in the story at that time. Yeah, it's very clear. So I'd love to hear more about it, honestly.
Nice and spicy. Wings of darkness, come.
Can't touch me.
Let's go. I'd love to hear more about it as well. I really would.
Lyney has told me the whole story. Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of
Man,
Cesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
10 years.
Look who's finally developed a
And
conscience.
this is like ruining someone's reputation for that long. Someone who brought so much joy to people. What that did to Jemma.
What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it. Because they'll be hell
Especially,
to pay.
this is horrible. This is horrible. 10 years. It kind of reminds me of, like, you know, with the Navi thing and the reputation that was lost for Navia's father as well. What it can do to people.
What should we do next, Lyney? Should we start preparing for your show?
Let me think.
You okay?
Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Jemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Jemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
True. True.
Point. We should go tell Jemma the good news right away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure.
Yeah. No, that was rough. Like, and it's rough just because it's just like when you think about the implications of it, like what that did to the widow, or what that did to you know, what Lyney and Lynette are probably feeling. Like, imagine like someone who brought so much joy to the world, and then all that joy is taken away. You know. People loved his magic, and they no longer have his magic. It's something that literally brought joy, like, and hopefulness to so many people. It's awful.
Ah, you're back.
It destroyed a lot of people. It really did. And like almost like, you know, just as bad, it destroyed a memory.
You were so quick. I've only just finished my third dessert.
You can have whatever you want, Lynette.
Your third?
It's not my money.
Lynette, come on. We've talked about this. Everything in moderation. You're not going to have any room left
Oh my
for
god.
dinner now.
Older brother to death.
It's fine. I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the excess
Switch
sugar.
you have different modes?
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now. But try to eat a more balanced diet in the future.
Well, I think what he's doing here is like actually like very sweet. He just wants her to be like, you know, healthy and stuff.
Point taken.
But you could eat whatever you want, Lynette. Whatever you want at any moment.
Did everything go okay?
Oh, Jemma, we got that guy.
Of course. Lorenzo was no match
That little
for
finger
us.
wag.
The guards are taking him into custody as we speak.
Gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry. I still didn't know if I could trust you, but now it seems I can.
Yeah, for sure. I imagine it was still tough.
I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but
Oh, you poor thing. Jemma. No, that's horrible. It's so horrible.
It's okay. We understand. He did threaten you. Paimon would find it hard to trust strangers in your position
110%. Like 100%. The man, like, this man was was someone that, like, by all accounts on the surface would be someone that you're supposed to trust, your assistant, right?
But you don't need to be scared anymore. Everything's gonna be okay.
Oh my god, good on your Paimon. Yeah, I feel so bad for Jemma. This is horrible.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
My emotions are all
Jemma.
over the place right now. I've been waiting for this day to come for so long.
Exactly, man. Oh my god. Yeah, like the freaking 10 years of people saying that your husband's like was a criminal.
I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took all of Cesar's property, which I found suspicious. Yeah. But I had people watching me all the time, so I couldn't risk looking into it.
That's horrible. She felt trapped. And she knew it. She knew in her heart of hearts.
I was so afraid. I was scared he'd do something terrible to me. And then no one would be left to visit Cesar's grave.
Oh.
So I never had the courage to speak out.
That's so sad. The idea that she thought that like he'd be alone forever if she spoke up and she was gone. Isn't that so sad? The idea that no one could visit his grave.
Thank you all. Truly.
No.
Thank you so
much. This is like this. No, thank yous are appreciated always, obviously, but we're just happy that you're okay now. I know, obviously not okay, but you're safe. Because F that guy. At Lyney's suggestion, everyone goes to the cemetery and announce Lorenzo's arrest. So, oh my god, fantastic! Lyney,
thank you all for clearing Cesar's name.
You beautiful soul, Lyney and Lynette are fantastic. What they do for Fontaine.
I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that there were problems between him and Cesar in public. From the outside, it looked like they got along great.
A great performer, it seems. Oh, look at her. It's a different feeling right now. Like, there's probably a lot of relief, but a lot of sadness as well, because it's like you know exactly how it happened.
And to think that lowlife's been living life to the fullest all this time, while Caesar's name was getting dragged through the mud. It's a travesty.
Frustrates the heck out of me, Balthazar.
At least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
Oh, Jemma. Understandable, though, isn't
it? If only I'd realized.
No.
Before it was too late.
No, you knew deep down.
Don't blame yourself, Jemma. This isn't your fault.
Well, yeah, you couldn't have stopped it. You couldn't have stopped it at all.
Yeah. You still have the rest of your life to live.
Yes.
Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending
Delora,
it
yes.
guilty.
That's so true.
Cheer up, Jemma.
Oh, Lynette.
My brother's doing a magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Would you like to come along? It might raise your spirits.
This must be a big deal for her to go to a magic show.
This show will be a special one. We're holding it in Caesar's honor.
That is incredible. You sweethearts.
In Caesar's
That's
honor?
so incredible.
Really?
No, that's the stuff they do for Fontaine.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'll be there.
She probably hasn't been to a magic show in like 10 years. How could she? I know her relationship with magic is going to be repaired.
Great. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Traveler, Paimon, don't be late.
Never would be.
Don't worry, we'll be there. No way are we gonna miss out on a free magic show.
Yeah.
Wait, Paimon feels like we're forgetting something.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, Caesar's diary!
Yes.
We never found out if the two kids Caesar taught magic to were Lyney and Lynette or not. Lyney changed the topic back in the workshop, so we didn't get a chance to bring it up. Oh well. Guess we'll just have to ask Lyney tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all we have to do. So we wait till 6 o'clock the next day. I'll take what's ever in the mail, by the way. No, it just frustrates me, man. It frustrates me so much. Ten long years. And knowing that your husband is innocent through those 10 years as well, that's horrible. Sorry, I scraped against the mic there, guys. Apologies. Let us go to Fontaine City. Oh yeah, unlock this. You'll see this tomorrow. I recorded out of order. You'll see this tomorrow. I have unlocked this area. I made sure to put Lyney's quest out, or make sure I got Lyney's quest done first. It's going to be part of a world quest I did. You'll see it, though. I don't usually do it, but you'll understand the reason maybe it's at some point. Yeah. I'm excited for this. Truly excited for this. All these Fontanians getting a loan of Sayu. Wow, she's incredible. What magic is she doing? It's called Me My Ski. You don't even know it's called Me My Ski. We're going right into the magic show? I can't believe we're getting to see another magic show. Are you kidding me? That's so sweet. And we're gonna sit beside her as well. Oh my god, Lynette. Wait, Lynette's in the crowd? Oh, it's a big crowd. Full to the brim.
Paimon's excited to see another of
Yeah.
Lyney's magic shows.
This is cool.
Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be
That's what I was thinking.
Not this time. My brother's going solo today.
Oh.
So I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Robert Houdin, like
I hope
Houdini.
everybody's ready because the show is about to begin.
Great voice.
The great magician Lyney has prepared a spectacular show for us all tonight, concluding with an all-new grand finale that no
Is he gonna
audience has ever seen before.
Is he gonna do the thing that that's maybe?
Thank you all so much for coming. Now, prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
Oh my god, I'm so...
Exciting stuff, isn't
Of course.
Yes, it's just... It reminds
Of
me
course
of
it
him.
would. This is probably your first magic show, and don't worry. Yeah, of course, of course.
No wonder. Caesar was a famous magician too.
Mhm.
So, how did you two first meet, Jemma?
Well, I was out on the street once, and I saw him performing for little children. Children love magic, because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world.
It sounds like he was amazing. Charlotte's over there as well. Look, you can see Charlotte in the background.
And somehow, I felt drawn to him too. So I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic. What trick did he do?
It was with a flower. He took it in his
Oh
hand,
my god.
snapped his fingers, and it magically appeared on my head.
The same one Lyney did with us.
I was so happy that day. No one had ever given me a flower before that.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
now that you mention it, Lyney's done that one before.
he has.
Is that right? Then I suppose he's a romantic at heart, just like Caesar. So let's treasure the time we have with him. After all, you never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
That hits home for us as well, doesn't it? Don't be sad. Both these don't help. I don't think too much.
It's all over now. Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now on. You can breathe easy at last, right?
Right.
Yeah, that at the very least. I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yes, you can breathe easy now. Phantom Weasel.
Wait,
See? Even when that's
wait,
Wait, what?
wait.
The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped?
No,
Where is he?
no.
What do you mean, Phantom
You're the
Weasel?
Phantom Weasel.
As Lyney once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless
No
performance for their
freaking
audience.
way.
But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show.
No.
The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their sleeve. It's been 10 years, Jemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act?
What?
I think it's time to put an end to it.
Jemma!
What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't like this riddle.
Jemma, I supported you so much!
Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going. Come on, say something!
I supported you so much, Jemma!
Ladies and
No way!
gentlemen,
I just dropping
I
it
hope
like
you're all
that?
enjoying the performance so far.
I'm a bit shocked.
There will now be
What?
a brief intermission, after which Lyney will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show. The one we've all been waiting for.
How? How is this even possible?
The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside in a calm and orderly fashion.
The Widow Act. I'm so sorry, Robert Houdin. I'm not even focused right now.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places.
Charlotte's leaving as well.
Don't worry. This place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for now.
Jesus Christ, you better reveal everything here. I bought it. I bought it. I was legitimately like, okay, yeah, this poor woman. I was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And did she almost think she got away with it too? What in the hell? No. Yeah, Paimon, yeah. Explain, what is happening?
Dear me.
Lynette looks so
this is
angry as
awkward,
well.
Isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to
Oh my god, you're amazing. You're amazing, Lyney.
This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan. Now, who wants to hear a story?
Sure.
Lyney, don't we have more important things
I think this story's gonna be related. I think this story's gonna be related to this.
Lynette accused Jemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
Please, please. I'm so willing to listen.
Well then, let's hear it. Paimon's dying of curiosity.
I feel so tricked.
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine. She never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands.
Oh my god.
But as her
Look at
infamy
this.
grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was. Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf.
Not her. Cesar?
After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Cesar. After all,
This man-
magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came
This
out.
man was getting tricked by everyone on all sides.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's
Awful.
trust. Now all that remained was to frame him for her countless
Look at
crimes.
this. This poor man. He literally was just the nicest man who ever lived.
But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty
aggrieved
after
pupil?
all. At her encouragement,
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his
No,
death.
and then he protected her afterwards. Jeez, I did not see this coming. Because we're around 2 hours into this, I was like, oh, that's about story quest length. It's probably going to end here, you know what I mean, with the performance.
Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. 2 co-conspirators committed the perfect
It lasted 10 years.
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind
come
all
on.
this. Pulling the strings.
Jemma, I trusted you. I felt so sorry for you.
But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Lyney? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all.
That's the thing, he didn't say anything.
But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was
gave it
trying
up.
to
He
hide.
gave it up so quickly.
How disappointing.
Gemma! Why?
So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a
No, this is
shred
manipulation
of
as well.
evidence?
You and Lorenzo were good at this. The both of you. He shuts it down and you're here trying to make it seem like, oh, you wouldn't trust me? Just like Lorenzo's like trying to be like, don't butt into this. The both of you work so well together.
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Jemma, are equally
The
talented in this
synergy
regard.
between what people see a thief is and versus a magician is, there's a fine line, but Lyney knows the difference.
With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence.
Oh my god, he's eating her up. He is eating her up.
Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but
Awful.
you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady.
And he said like a performance.
Perish the thought.
Oh my god, Lyney. Oh my god. The way he said that. Like, Lyney is eating her up with the way he's doing this. Like, it's like a performance as well. Like, and rightly so at this stage. Right? Rightly so. She went to the grave every single freaking day. That's a performance.
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Jemma and Lorenzo were both in on it?
Paimon, my mind is actually blown.
But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even at the end instead of
He
admitting
probably
to
loves
being
her.
the weasel himself?
He probably thinks this girl's amazing.
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Jemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Lyney.
Oh, look at the
if you're
change.
so
Look at the switch up.
confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious. Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer. Though sadly, a little
Yeah, it's not
dull.
really like a very magical answer, is it?
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If
Look at
you
the
care to
change.
change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
The switch up.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real Weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
Yeah.
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here.
Oh yeah,
aren't we?
sure, Jemma.
If I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had a terrible childhood.
Okay, we're getting some backstory
Left
here.
to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten.
Oh, see, Jemma, that's horrible. That's horrible. I would never want that to happen to, like, look at this. This is horrible. I would never want this to happen to anybody.
She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins
That's
to
so
draw on,
horrible.
using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly rag dolls
Oh.
from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on.
Oh my god. That is... You make me feel sorry for this person now again. That's horrible.
This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too
That
good
is-
for her.
Like, here's the thing, right? Like, by the way, I'm not having sympathy for this character because what they did was absolutely horrible, right? What I'm saying is, like this can also be horrible, right, as well, right? It's like two things can be the same, be true at the same time.
Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy.
Wow, my God.
Instead, she stood
I'm
in
sorry,
the
but-
shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by.
So the way that she saw this world was like, everyone else has nice things. Everyone has this stuff that means something to me. I'm not even allowed to even have the stuff that means something to me. That's the way she saw it. And she probably hated people that had all these things that meant something to them.
This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became a breeding ground for dark thoughts. Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles.
And that's what it is. It's a twisted solution. A festering. That's horrible. That's horrible that could happen to someone. I would never wish that on anybody. And that feeling she must have had as well must have been horrible too. The idea of like looking, and again, I'm not excusing, you guys know I don't excuse actions based on past actions. You know what I mean? It always depends on the situation and stuff, I guess. What she did was absolutely horrible. I just think that this is also horrible.
I detest the happiness
Yep.
of others, in all its forms alike.
That's what happens. It's something that manifests inside you then. It's like, I don't know, and I know this is such a bad analogy, but like it's the same, like it's like, you know, on the basic form of everything, it's like, you know, if you see, and by the way, what she ended up doing, taking stuff from people, not right either, just taking stuff that meant something of not even monetary value. It wasn't even to help her out. It wasn't even to, you know, make money off it. What she did was like horrible. But I also just hate that the world can even happen, like things like this can even happen in the world.
I will rob them
You know,
of
to
everything
kids
they
like that.
hold to be good and true. And it will fill the void in my
And it
soul.
didn't. And that's the thing, it probably didn't.
That's some pretty
It's horrible. 100% it's horrible. There's no doubt in my mind that it's horrible.
Now it all makes sense.
Does this story satisfy you, Lyney?
Listen, Jemma, I'm sorry you had to bring that back up again. I'm 100% I'm sorry you had to bring that up again. Obviously, again, like I said, it doesn't excuse like the pain you brought onto these other kids by taking their stuff. It doesn't excuse the fact that you still did it when you were older. You know, if a little kid was going around stealing people's like most prized possessions, I'd more than understand in the end, right? And obviously, I understand the idea of like this mental health stuff that would like, you know, that impacts you. I know mental health is such a weird blanket term, but you know what I'm trying to say, like how like it can be damaged over time by the stuff that happened in your childhood, and of course that would like change your viewpoint of the world. Obviously, still just what you did was really, really horrible and affected so many lives and was so horrid to so many people.
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear
To my
up
taste as well, by the way. Such is just a way of putting it. So what was with the warning letter?
Huh. That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Jemma? What were you trying to achieve there?
Excuse me.
Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
Yep, it changed everything.
She didn't write the letter.
Who did?
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace.
Who did it then?
Lyney. Or should I call you the Phantom
Wait.
Copycat now?
What?
You were the one who posted that letter
Are you
outside the Opera House.
serious?
But why?
It was Lyney. Oh my freaking god.
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever.
That is insane. Why? Yeah, why?
Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name.
And from all this, so again, they put a little bit of a deception on us as well. They did, and I think it's like let's just say they tricked us too.
The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
Yeah, oh my god. They started this whole investigation with us. No. Did they know we would have... They probably did as well. They probably knew how like we always like rise to occasions like this too. If they heard about us.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Wait, yeah.
10 years ago?
They were trained by...
You mean Caesar's death?
Oh my god.
You met him?
This hit them so hard. I knew it would have. I knew it would have.
Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long.
My heart is
You're
pounding.
all grown up now. I didn't recognize you.
This whole thing, even though it was obviously like there was a lot of truth to it, this whole thing was like 3 people who, like, one a thief, a magician's assistant, and 4 people, and a magician and a magician's assistant, all putting up these big tricks all in one go. And it just so happened that Lyney and Lynette's trick was bigger and better. And that makes sense, because I was like, why wouldn't Lyney say this? Of course, he was keeping everything. This is how he did it.
He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you
She's
still owe him something?
dismissive of sentimentality now as well.
We remember all our debts, however great or small.
She can't comprehend the idea that, like, someone has something that they cared about, or a value that they cared about, because that's all gone from her.
10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore.
I'm just gonna say, I don't care I was tricked. This is like personally as Calvin, because obviously, like, whatever Wander feels about this, or whatever Paimon feels about that, that's her own thing as well. But like, as Calvin, like, I'm just so happy that he was able to do this, because to me, it like makes me like, I don't know, like it makes, is it weird that it makes me admire them as well? Because I'm like, holy hell, you pulled this off, you know? And to do this for someone who did something for you.
But we did not forget. And
Oh
so
my
we came
God.
to find you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
Crazy way to put it. We came for you.
Free? Do you really think so?
The way Lyney says this, well, if he said this to me, I would like literally probably jump into the prison, because honestly, like, I would feel like I'm done.
Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people.
Yeah. How are they
Life
feeling
took
about it?
Many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole.
And what's that?
Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years.
Wow. And she hasn't stolen in years.
You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has.
Oh my God.
So I think you know, deep down,
Jesus
that he
Christ,
is the only
Lyney.
truth you have in your life.
Lyney said the truth is gone from your life.
But that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you'll never see it again.
This is a full, I'm just, he is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like when he gets revenge, he gets revenge. Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine saying to someone, the truth is gone from your life. You'll never see it again.
Congratulations on your freedom,
Oh my God.
Jemma.
These guys.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
I can't. I can't. Like, this type of line, like, again, it's 10 years of build-up, right? It's 10 years of this. And this is like a own on a level that is in a different stratosphere. You got a long life ahead of you. Can you imagine? This is a whole different side we haven't seen from the two twins yet.
Gather round, one and all.
Oh my god, they're still announcing the performance?
Amazing Lyney to perform his final act
Crazy.
in tonight's show.
Insane.
I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no more, for the answer is...
And he's, yeah,
defying high altitude escape.
he's gonna do Caesar's trick that he couldn't do.
A high altitude escape?
Yep. 10 years ago, the trick that Caesar died attempting. What a way to honor
I'm sure
him.
you all remember the magician Cesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is like this is the perfect revenge, if you want to call it revenge. Being able to perform this after all of that.
But we have now learned that Cesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crime.
Like, if you're talking about what's happened, Lorenzo has gone away to Meripide. She has to live with this for the rest of her life. They're going to perform Caesar and finally honor Caesar, and his name has been cleared, and his trick is going to be actually performed in front of hundreds of people.
Guess that's my cue to
Like,
leave.
this is the perfect, like, we did it.
I've been
Phew,
practicing
I
this
love
one
you.
for
Oh my god, it was so
ages
cute.
now, but I'm still a little nervous.
This is insane.
Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my true witnesses.
Lyney, wait.
Lyney, wait. Why are you saying Lyney, wait for?
You two hid a lot from Cesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets.
He wondered about
So
it.
what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today.
Lynette's like, don't even talk to my brother.
Maybe then you'll finally understand.
Lynette is like, don't look at Lynette's eyes. But what she's saying is like if you tell the truth and open up to more people, or like, you know, like maybe this magic is a front sometimes for, like, you know, showing your true self.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like
Tell her. Tell her.
So, what are we, doing now?
It was a lot, Paimon.
Like Lyney said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show.
But what about Jemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Lyney after the show, you know where he'll be. The usual.
The usual haunt, okay.
Alright. Well, let's go and watch Lenny's finale then.
Yeah, this is like, of course it's like, it's a lot, right?
Dangerous one, but he should be able to pull it off, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I think that'd be the best thing. I think that'd be such a good way to honor Caesar. In my opinion, anyway, that's a great way to honor Caesar. Oh, I jumped.
What is my truth?
And what is my truth?
Sometimes I think I'm like a gambling addict. All I care about is winning. And it doesn't matter what's at stake.
And it led to this. It led to what you have today, and it's nothing.
By the time I come to my senses, I'm left with nothing. Oh, if I had my time again.
Yeah, what happened to her was horrible. The life she went through was horrible. Of course.
Magicians are not like thieves.
Yep, you made that clear.
Thieves only tear things apart. But good-hearted magicians, they put things
And that's what they did today. That's what they did today. Because while they tore apart their lives, you know, they actually, like, how do I say it? While they tore apart their lives, they actually put Caesar's life back together. And his memory back together. Incredible. And crazy twist there at the end. And now we're actually getting to see a trick. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so high. No, that's so high up. That's way too high up. I wouldn't be able to even come close to standing there.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising,
Look how
and
pretty this
defy
is.
logic.
And this is Cesar, right?
Magic is
Oh
hard
no,
work.
no,
Every single movement
no!
has
Oh
to
my
be practiced
god!
thousands of times.
We're used to that.
Her hair was so full. Oh my god! The babies. Oh my gosh! Oh, look at them.
You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
That is so sweet.
It's okay. Do you
No.
still remember what I told you?
Look at them and pulling down the hat.
This world is full of lies and
Yes,
falsehoods.
yes.
I only hope that one day you can find your
Oh, it's
own
what he
truth.
said to them. Look at the two of them.
What about you?
Stop.
Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth.
Magic is my truth.
I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they
Oh
talk
my
about
god.
For a magician, what greater honor could
And
there
that's
be?
what Lyney's doing now. Oh look, yes, it's what he's doing now. He's finding his
Behold,
truth.
Lyney is sealed inside the box.
Jesus Christ, and
Will
they're
he
showing it
manage
like
to
this.
escape?
Oh my. Oh,
10 years ago,
Ugh.
Caesar attempted this
This
very
is incredible.
trick, and it was at this
Oh my
precise
God.
moment that...
no. No. Wait, no, there's no way. There's no way. There's no freaking way. Look at this man. It's fully like animated. Past Caesar. Oh my god, this is
Mysterious.
mysterious.
Surprising.
This is gorgeous.
And logic defying.
Yeah. Oh.
Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you,
I am
Caesar.
devastated, but it's so beautiful at the same time. It's like,
I'm just sorry it's a little late.
no, it's not. He'd love this. I'm devastated, man. Jesus Christ, this game's trying to kill me.
Did you see that? 1 minute he was falling, and the next he turned into flowers.
It was beautiful. It was. Holy freaking hell.
How could he possibly have done that?
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of this person I just met. He found that's his own truth. The magic is his own truth. And you just see them as babies.
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished right in front of my eyes.
God.
What a heart-stopping magic show. This was really worth
It's
the trip.
incredible. It's the best trick I've ever seen in my life.
Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale.
Oh, yeah.
It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself.
You know what this has done? Above all else? What this has done? It has... First of all, my whole body's chilled, right? And there's it's like I've never, like it's... I have this mixture of sadness, excitement, melancholy, and like pride all in one. And you know what this has done though? Lyney's never going to be forgotten. And Caesar will never be forgotten as well now.
Looks like everyone really loved Lyney's grand finale.
Incredible. Even though they know the full don't know the full story. Yeah, there's so much emotion behind that final trick. Oh, did you see them? The full head of hair Lynette had?
Paimon doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Where'd he go?
That's a secret.
Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But,
They used
Where's that?
the cemetery, the actual cemetery. My mind's blown. That was mind blowing.
you mean the one where Caesar's buried? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Lyney's way of saying goodbye to Caesar.
It was.
So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward.
I keep every time I think of the line where it's like, "Sorry, it was a little late." I get, you know when you're like about to cry and you get that feeling in your chest move up to your throat? I get that every single time. I just think of it.
Alright, let's go look for him there.
What a beautiful scene. That was legit the best animated cutscene I've seen. It was legit so freaking good. Where's the cemetery? It's up around here, isn't it? Yeah. By Poisson. No, incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. And like, again, like at first I was like, you know, you're getting a little bit afraid of like what Lyney and Lynette were saying, but then you're like first of all, like they are, you know, brought up by the knave, first of all. And in a way, the way, like, you know, like you think about it, it's like, you know, the idea of like what the knave did for them, and the idea of like, you know, getting not revenge for them, but like paying back a debt in a way as well. And they're paying back a debt for Cesar. Obviously, the knave didn't pay back a debt for them, but you know what I mean. That moment was for him, was for Cesar. This is how I will love these guys for the rest of my life. They knew him for 10 days, and they did that for him. Incredible.
Make my escape.
I have so much appreciation, man. Lyney's at the grave. He's a magician through and through.
Lyney, there you are.
Lyney, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Are you alright? Paimon was scared to death when the chain broke. Paimon was sure something had gone horribly wrong.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Cesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Cesar thought in those final moments.
Again, yeah, it's like the fear.
Did he regret taking Jemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Cesar once, didn't you?
Yep.
When was that?
And I saw them as babies, and I died.
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him.
And what's that agenda?
I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done.
Okay.
But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves, but without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
Cesar did say you were gifted.
So that's why you sought Cesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us.
I mean, like, this idea of an agenda, like, you know, he would have loved this. He wrote about how he thought you were so gifted.
In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion." But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth.
It's the way he said this line, by the way. Both these lines.
For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion."
Yeah, it's my passion.
But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved.
Like the softness in his voice, man. It's... And like, F that aristocrat, by the way. F him.
Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
Oh my god, especially what happened to you and Lynette.
Lyney.
This wasn't your fault. At all. Like, what happened to Lynette, you would... Like, that would scar you for life.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you?
You got the softest voice I've ever heard in my life, okay?
But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the house of the hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Cesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile.
Oh, man.
But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him.
Precious, are you kidding me? You were sitting there thinking about his smile, like... There's no way I can think of you as anything but a sweetheart.
To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show.
Jesus
full of
Christ.
seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay.
And he's saying, like, you know, keeping us up protected, and it is true, like, you know, it's like, you know, the hurt that you felt in your life, you know, making you not trust people anymore, but the less you trust people, the less they're inclined to actually, like, be involved in your life, right? And, like, you know, growing up in the house of the hearth, you know, becoming a magician, you know, doing sleight of hand your whole life, the whole thing is, like, not trusting people, like, with, like, outside of your circle, right? So, like, it makes perfect sense that he would feel this way, especially after everything that happened to him. The last time he trusted someone greatly, besides the knave, I guess, or us, maybe even, like, but the last time he trusted someone, like, in that way, look what they did to him and Lynette. Horrible, horrible, horrible people. And a horrible person that did that. And deserved everything that happened. I don't care.
You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Jemma. Because I felt it for myself.
We're in your auditorium and we're not going anywhere. Oh my god.
Yeah, sure.
I'll stay in the auditorium forever.
We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings.
True. So true.
Delicious food, fun
yes.
toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window.
So much good things to life. So many good things to life.
You know, traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's tree?
What the hell? This game saw me on the ground, curled up in tears, and decided to kick me again. Paimon, that is the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette.
Yeah.
We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that.
Of course.
Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Jemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me, and why it never will.
Hopefully.
Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through.
This conversation, man. This should be shown to, like, everyone.
All right. Time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight?
You can be sad. You can talk all the sad stuff with us. It's because it seems like that what we're getting from Lyney is obviously, like, his sister is like the light in all of his life. Him and his sister, and I hope Fremine as well, right? But I think his sister, because they've been through so much together, right, in that way. It's so hard to see someone, because you can always see, it's hard to see it from the outside, someone who has sometimes a lack of trust seems like just being rude or being disrespectful, or it seems like they don't like you. But so in some cases, like, you know, I have plenty of people in my life that I adore, but there's still some stuff you couldn't be able to tell them. Now, not in the extent of this. They feel like they can't trust anybody and can't let anybody in. The fact that he even let us know this means he sees something in us that is, like, you know, that we see in him maybe as well. And I see the softness in him, and I see the light in Lyney. And I said this before. I said this in the first chapter, right? I said this, that I truly, truly believe that there was a light in Lyney and Lynette's eyes.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Jemma situation. We spent most of our time in the opera house just talking and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show.
Yeah, but the second half was, like, astounding.
Lyney,
Paimon.
could you do just one more trick?
Paimon is like the MVP of, like, making us emotional. That's so sweet.
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely you can think of something. The Lyney Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you.
He is a performer through and through. He needed someone to give it to a shout encore, you know?
Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand! We ain't going along with this!
Huh? My goodness,
No.
you're right.
No.
But I could have sworn I
No,
brought
he's
with
amazing.
me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2,
I love
3,
him.
2,
1.
1.
What did it do?
Now, have another look around.
Oh my god!
Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
He did the same thing he did with a new flower.
Really? Let's see.
She's so excited. Right in her chest again.
Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's called, oh yeah, a rainbow rose.
Oh my god.
But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done. Please, Lyney, please.
I don't think he's gonna be able to. I don't think that he's gonna say.
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Yep.
Fine. Please, teacher, please.
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Wait, wasn't that flower to do with wasn't like romantic encounters? Or passion? Am I wrong in saying that? I think that's... Wait. Lyney. Wait a second. And you gave me this flower? Lyney. Wait a second. Lyney. Why'd you give us this flower, buddy? Huh? Why'd you give us this flower? So, Lyney, you gave me this flower. This is like a next level, like charmer right here. If this is the case, if I'm remembering it right. That is so... It just hit me. I was like, oh, the rainbow rose. And I was like, oh yeah. Dear Christ. Why'd you give me this flower, Lyney?
Is that it?
Paimon, I love you to pieces, but look at the flower. Look what he gave me.
Look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my show.
What about this flower, Lyney?
Good night.
You sweetheart. You sweetheart. So the line he said here, just so I don't brush past it, I'll share one tip. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secret. You have to observe, think, and find answers for yourself. So it's like you have to watch what's happening around you and, be able to figure things out for yourself. But a question I have to ask you, Lyney, what about this flower? Tell me.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Isn't that what they said at the start about romance or something?
All right, fine. See ya.
Did he just do the most quiet, most subtle, most dazzling of pickup lines with a flower I've ever seen in my life?
Shall we head back down too?
And we're not taking it off.
Paimon can't wait to read the Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Lyney and Cesar will be plastered all over it.
I'd say so.
Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
And he's like, I need to look up. Remember, he's like, I'm gonna look up what flowers mean. So he was looking it up. A flower accessory given away to Lyney. Right? Let's read it. Let's read it. Let's read this flower. Where would it be? Here? No. It would be here, wouldn't it? In quest items? Where is it? A flowery accessory given away by Lyney at his magic shows. It is an arrangement of luminescent bells, which symbolizes parting, and rainbow rose that represents passion. It was passion. Parroting and passion are two separate perspectives sharing the same nature. What really matters is present that we are living in. So it's passion. Okay, maybe I was thinking like romance in a different way. So it's passion. He gave us a passionate flower. Okay. I was like, Lyney, why did you give me this flower? I was like, why do you give this flower? But passion is still okay. We can take it. We'll take passion. We'll take passion. I'll take a bit of passion. Right? Oh, that guy's back. So you wait till next morning until 8 o'clock. Should I look up the actual meaning of like an actual like rainbow rose? Like not like. A rainbow rose can symbolize passion and love, and a symbol of love for the LGBT. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. Interesting giving me this flower now, Lyney. Lyney, what did you mean? Lyney. 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 Come talk to me right now. Lyney, come talk to me right now. Oh my god, they're all together. Lyney, this flower?
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Oh, please, Lyney, I'll only take a moment of your time. If you would be so kind.
So passionate.
What's happening here?
Turn around and show me the flower. Show me the flower on your chest.
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was going to go to print this morning. But just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Cesar's fiancée, Jemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along.
Wow.
That was quick.
Oh, the flower's gone.
Too late, bro.
Wait, too late, bro?
Ooh, that was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
Whoops.
It's okay.
Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Jemma turning herself in must have something to do with Lyney's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick
She's good,
reminded
she's
her
good.
of a better time with Cesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Huh. Okay, then. Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
Well...
Charlotte's journalistic spirit is burning red. We're gonna have to distract her
I
somehow.
remember now. You and Jemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quickfire question. Where did you all go after the show?
No, she's actually fantastic.
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private magic trick just
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, just for us.
Glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what? Lyney's
There we go,
started
okay.
using rainbow roses
Yeah.
in these tricks.
Oh?
I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself.
Oh my god!
Does that mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
No way!
No, I just...
What the... What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again?
So we're special? We're special?
This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler?
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be.
Oh my god.
Well, never mind. There's always next time. Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, I can't turn away. The news about Jemma has already made waves. I'll stop at nothing to get to the bottom of it all.
The flower's gonna make us all giggle like, you know, like gigglers.
Apparently,
Like
one
a pack
of
of
the things she
gigglers.
said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo one last time. Ah, there's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious.
Sure. No, it is a really interesting story.
All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to...
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was
Okay.
just trying to distract her.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
You and me both, Paimon. You and me both.
What an ending.
At least it did the job, right?
Please take good care of that rainbow rose. I'd be really upset if you lost it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. It was so nice doing this quest with you guys. Wait, is that it? It's over. That's it? That's it, guys. That's the Lyney story. And he gave us a flower that in the end represented passion. What a sweet way of ending this. What a sweet, 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 sweet way of ending this. To talk about like this all, I guess, like in totality, like this was an amazing quest. In locations, in the characters that were in it. Lyney and Lynette are just fantastic characters. Lyney is a triumph of like an interesting character who is constantly just like the switch is turned on and then he turned off the switch for us there, and you know, talk to us personally, which like letting us in is a big deal. It's a massive deal for someone like Lyney, right? It's a massive deal for someone like Lyney to give it to let us in like that. That's trust beyond trust. This whole thing was like a way to like, you know, clear Cesar's name and give him like a reward for what he did. That final magic performance was fantastic. Cesar will live on through that as well. But it's also like a case of like I think you could take it from a sinister way of looking at it, and in a way it's like very like, you know, a dark way of putting it. But I think as well, you know, when you grow up around truth, around lies, and around deceitfulness, and around tricks, and around magic, you know, finding one's truth is probably a very important thing. And the best way you get revenge for something so horrible that they did there was like, hey, now you got to find your own truth, and you got to think about that. To the point that she turned herself in, just as you can see Lorenzo one last time. That is an insane way of looking at this. An insane way of looking at this. A beautiful quest. Lyney is a character who is still incredibly hurt by their past. And again, I'm glad in a way that they found their truth, and their truth being a magician at the end of the day as well was actually a really fantastic thing too. To pull this off though, this whole trick was incredible. This whole trick, 10 years in the making. And seeing them as babies as well was such a beautiful thing too. I think as well, you know, it's a very like, you know, when a villain turns the mirror on you, it can be tough as well. But I think Lyney reacting the best way possible is like, I'm not like you. Because this whole time there's a difference between a thief, right, and a magician. And as he said this, he went outside and performed this magic trick that gave back to the people, that gave back to Cesar, that gave back to, even gave some parts to himself back as well. While she is only taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. A thief, as he says, destroys in that way. And obviously there's a difference between a Robin Hood and a thief, right? A thief destroys in that way. A thief like her destroys. While a magician gives back and creates things, creates magic, creates wonder. His name will live on forever like that. While she will have to deal with being in the Fortress of Meripide for the rest of her life. Which I think is pretty poetic in a way. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for watching this series. I had a blast with this. We got a flower in the end from our sweetheart. And honestly, like, oh, Cal, what about this sweetheart? We got sweethearts coming out of every alley. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting the series. And I'll say thank you to the Never Gonna Pay the Baby Gangster cheer on Patreon. Thank you so much to Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Yuled. Go on, Sayu. Come on, Sayu. Radish, Adusta, Malcolm Kunde, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Yassassin, and Alpaca Juice. And I'll see you all so soon. Ooh, Gene, you haven't done the thing in a long time. Let's go. Lovely.